The following is brought to you by the Washington Chamber of Commerce.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, again for taking time out of your, I know, very busy schedule to sit down with us and talk and go over some things for the folks at the Washington Day Banquet. We really do appreciate it.
Well, thanks, Brett. Thanks for having me.
So how long have you been the mayor of Washington?
I'm finishing up my 12th year.
12 years, wow. That's quite a run.
It has been. It's been fun.
Thank you for your service. We certainly appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you.
You bet. What would you say would be some of your, maybe a list of a few of your greatest accomplishments since you've taken office?
Infrastructure, roads, Route 8 is finally going to get completed. Took many trips to Springfield to convince them that we needed to see some of that money to complete the fourth and final phase of that. Obviously, 5 Points Washington.
That's great. And I'm sure there are many more too.
Absolutely.
Have you had any grandchildren since you took office?
Yes, all three actually.
Really?
A 9, a 5, and a 2-year-old.
That's great. So where would you say they would rank on the list of accomplishments? Just below the others, or maybe quite a ways down?
Oh, I think they're the pride and joy of our family.
So, one thing I've always wondered is why do you end every broadcast with, "Have a good morning and a good day"?
Well, I'm not sure I've ever done that, and I don't have a show.
I'm pretty sure you do. I watch your morning show all the time.
I go to Caterpillar in the morning, so I'm not sure I have a when you say broadcast.
Well, I pretty sure. And actually, oh no, yeah, no, you're right. That's actually Gary Moore. That's my mistake. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Many people in town have been clamoring for a steak and shake, correct?
Absolutely. I hear it, I'm not saying daily, but in the 12 years I've probably heard it a couple hundred times.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow. I actually heard a rumor that you might put a steak and shake in your home just to shut the townspeople up. Is that fact or fiction?
I've been trying to diet, but I don't know if that'd be a good idea to put a steak and shake at the Minera household, but it would be nice to have somewhere in town.
Okay. Well, what would you say if I put the steak and shake in my house? Could you just go ahead and guarantee me that I would never have to pay any taxes for anything ever?
Brad, I'm sorry. I really don't have that kind of authority or power.
I don't think you're remembering that you are actually the mayor and you can do anything you want, break any kind of law you want, and nobody can ever do or say anything to stop you.
I wish that was true, but that's not the case.
Well, that kind of stinks, huh?
We all have bosses, and I have 15,134 of them, so
It's a lot of bosses.
absolutely.
Yeah. So how does Washington's residential and commercial growth rate in your eyes?
Well, I mean, obviously since the last 10 years, the census that was just done actually a year and a half ago now, we've grown by almost 40% residentially. Commercial, we're still, I think, a little bit behind. I think 2013 you're going to see, I'm not saying an explosion, but you're going to see a lot of commercial retail opportunities in our city.
Yeah, but really the only decent new business in town in the last 6 years is Southside Bank.
Of course, Brad, not all growth is good for a community. For example, have you been to the East Peoria Walmart? It's frightening.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, one area that we have had some pretty drastic growth over the last several years, 5-6 years, is in terms of senior living facilities in Washington. It's apparent that the people of Washington are aging at a horrifying rate. As mayor, how do you plan to stop the aging process for the community?
If I had the power, I'd live there myself.
Yeah, but you've aged pretty gracefully.
Thanks, Brad.
No problem. What are you anyway? Like 80?
80? 58.
Oh, sorry about that.
And you say age graciously?
Yeah, you've aged. We'll say okay.
Okay.
So, out of curiosity, who in Washington do you think I'm most likely to look like in, say, 15 years?
Gary Dieters?
Yeah. Gary Dieters, really?
Absolutely.
I don't want to look like Gary Dieters. That guy never combs his hair. So as mayor of Washington, how do you personally plan to solve the healthcare crisis? Really, how long did you know Manti Te'o? Have you ever taken performance-enhancing drugs? So why do you look down on all the residents of Washington as though they are completely worthless and you are a king? Well, I can't help but notice you're not wearing an American flag pin. How did you vote on the fiscal cliff? So where is the mayor's mansion anyway? So clearly the Rogaine did nothing for you. Should I just probably not go down that road? So I understand you hired Jackie Gleason for city administrator. Interesting hire. You know, I just loved him in Smokey and the Bandit.
It's actually Tim Gleason.
Yeah, whatever. So what's up with Bob Morris anyway? Did he quit again? So your wife told us that at night you often talk to William H. Holland, the founder of our town. That's interesting.
When did she tell you that?
Don't worry about it. Okay, so serious question. In what decade will Route 8 construction be completed?
It'll be this one.
So this decade?
Absolutely.
Great. You know, over time, I've noticed that there's something different about the roads in our town versus the roads in all the other towns in America. It seems as though all the other roads are nice and paved, and ours are made up of little pieces of gravel that fly up and hit kids in faces and dent the cars and trucks in our town.
I'm sorry, was there a question there?
The question is, it's embarrassing.
That's still not a question.
You're not a question.
True, I'm a person.
Are you? Or are you a robot? A tall robot mayor with a beard.
No, I'm not a robot. I am a person that happens to be your mayor.
Funny, that's exactly what a robot would have said. Fine, then do the robot dance. I want to prove that you are a real robot.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo, domo, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
So you're definitely a human mayor, not a robot. My apologies. A human mayor who has given us gravel roads. You should be very proud. I wish you were a robot mayor.
I wish you lived in Peoria.
So do I. You make Jim Artis look like Ronald Reagan.
Jim Artis and Ronald Reagan are two great people, so I'm not understanding the correlation.
I think we're done here.
Absolutely, so am I. Well, we had another great year in the city of Washington, and celebration we're going to have tonight. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone here, but I'd like to compliment and congratulate the award winners this evening that will be announced. Very proud of each and every one of them, and thanks to the Chamber of Commerce and Chevy Reuter and her staff for putting a banquet together again this year. And actually, I want to thank Brad Mahoney, who he and I may have not agreed during the interview process, but I appreciate what Brad does for the city of Washington also. So to each and every one of you, have a great night, and God bless Washington.